Hi everyone, this is Bobby from bn-games.com, and we're here doing another classic capture. Today we're doing our first 3DO game, Total Eclipse
of the Heart,
from Crystal Dynamics, which I have found did most of the games for the 3DO. This is a spaceship side-scrolling shooter, which is very akin to Star Fox in a way.
Yeah, it has very Star Foxy qualities.
Yeah, and it's on rails, and you got enemies coming at you, and you're flying through a level, trying to avoid obstacles and shooting robots. It is actually, for its other than this horrible intro cut screen, this is some intro early voice acting for video games bit right here.
They didn't steal this from Star Trek at all.
It is. And you know what this reminds me of right here? This reminds me of that cartoon Reboot. If anybody's old enough to remember that. You don't remember Reboot, Marco?
I always wanted a glitch.
Remember Reboot, Timmy? The game cartridge come in the world, and then everything went to the game. And if you didn't make it, you'd die. Well, I'm dating myself once again.
It was basically let's rip off Tron even more.
Yeah, for its time, I'm sure this was mind blowing. And the alien right there.
It's Cthulhu.
I was gonna say Zerg.
It could be both. You know what's? It's the offspring of. The basic premise of this is this alien comes and blows up the sun and then wants to destroy Earth, although contextually, Earth would die.
Yeah, if that sun were blown up, I think he did his job already.
The designers here knew a lot about physics.
This is, like I said, this is some of the worst video game voice acting, but you gotta kind of give it some leeway here, being one of the first.
Does it really get any worse than Clock Tower?
Well,
let's not go there, sir.
You're right. I agree with that. The 3DO, being this is our first capture for the system, had a lot of games that were available on the PC. So this right here is very akin to the kind of PC games that you found at the time. A lot of spaceship shooters, a lot of full motion video. Although this isn't right here. This is like
an acid trip.
I would like to know how much of the budget was put on just that intro movie. But the game holds up fairly well. I like it a lot. I never owned this before until I picked up the 3DO. It actually came with my 3DO. It holds up pretty well. More of this really horrible. Like, hey, we need you to go defend Earth.
That's some really bad lighting.
Truth is, if the war is going bad.
Yeah.
Let's just go into night vision.
But you know what? I have to give it. The load times on 3DO are like minimal. Everything comes up pretty fast. It's all CD quality audio, 'cause it's CD based. I should also mention that the 3DO I have is the second one, the top loader, not the tray one that breaks on everybody. This is the top loader version, so I'm pretty sure this is going to last me for a long time. The 3DO when it came out was about $700 in 1992. I'm talking about $700 in 1992, not inflation by our standards. $700 in 1992, which was like...
You could buy like 2 computers for that.
Yeah. And, controls are fairly simple. It's all on a D-pad, although you could use a joystick. There was a joystick attachment I don't have yet. But with the D-pad, it works pretty well. You have your shoot button, which shoots 3 balls, and then you have this really cool let's turn the map button. For rolling.
I like that. They should have added that into Star Fox. That would have been really good.
Yeah. The rolling does nothing for you other than if you do it kind of sideways. Some of these levels get a little narrow, but it's useless. It's more of a
perspective.
Yeah, that's what it is. The only problem I have with this game, based on what I've played from it, is everything kind of comes at you a little too fast. And even though you might be pointing pointing yourself right at the screen, you have no reticle. You can see right there. That should have hit him, multiple times. And right here, this didn't get stolen from Star Fox. No.
Well, in some ways, this looks like Star Fox 64 beta, like Star Fox 24, something like that.
This came out.
Yeah, because that the 64 is ever.
This actually came out before Star Fox 64.
32.
Yeah, I know it's 32. I was about to say
Shut
that. Yeah.
Like I said, as far as the shooting mechanics are concerned, it's kind of hard to know what you're hitting exactly. You do get power-ups, and when you die, you do lose them. That's very a la Star Fox as well.
Yeah, that texture just looks like you're heading into like a flat wall. It doesn't really give you... Doesn't seem like there's any depth there.
Well, like I said, the thing
Very little.
The problem I was having with this is, you can't shoot those guys in the corner, otherwise you're going to hit the side and you're going to blow yourself up, because there's no finesse in the controls there. But when you're aiming at something, sometimes it just you do a lot of correction to get the fire to actually hit something, even though you got 3 spread. So it's it's a bit inaccurate from that. You see right there, try to get that thing. You can't slow it. You can slow it down if you hold the button down. You can kind of slow it, but not enough to make those really precise turns and stuff. So it's a bit stiff from the flying, but hey, it's still a decent game. The thing I haven't mentioned is the awesome soundtrack, which you can hear. Every game should have this soundtrack.
It is a really good soundtrack.
I could live to this soundtrack. I could just, be writing a paper and have this soundtrack going. Getting a donut, the soundtrack.
Taking a shit?
Yeah, that would make it even better.
Yeah, let's give him a couple seconds to listen.
You want to buy the CD now, don't you? Which is, benefit of CD. The 3DO came out before the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn, and it was, the first, not the first, but one of the first CD completely based consoles, and it allowed for the CD audio, quality audio. I mean, the visual. In fact, I think this thing was a little more powerful than the PlayStation 1. From 3DO perspective, there are some games that came out of 3DO and the PlayStation, and 9 times out of 10, the 3DO version is the better port. Sometimes because it was designed for the 3DO, and sometimes because the PC conversion was better on the 3DO via versus the PlayStation. So it had its benefits, and this right here is very akin to early 90s gaming period, because the PC was still the most relevant bit. PC was still more popular than console when it came to gaming, and this is a lot of what you would find. I mean, I remember going to the based on our area, the Pomona Fairgrounds at the computer fair, and picking up, let's get this Sound Blaster 16. It's got a game port on it. Now I can get a joystick.
Mega Race.
Mega Race. Another game that's very similar to this is called Nova Storm, which came out on here and the PC. I actually have a PC version. I found a disc. There's a lot of games like this. This one here, though, I think it's still fun. Just has little drawbacks, but you got to give it some give, based on the medium and the time. I couldn't figure out how to get health. To some extent, it seemed when I would destroy things, I would get health back. I couldn't find anything like a bomb or anything like that. It just straight up hold the button and let it shoot. It was rapid fire, and you just kind of fly to try to get around the obstacles and stuff, for the most part. But yeah, it holds up. This game, from a price perspective, it's kind of hard to say, because you can pick up the game as just a disc for, let's say, $10 to $12 on eBay. Kind of hard to find, as most 3DO games are. If you buy it with the full long cardboard box with the instruction manual and everything, this game will easily run you about $20-30, which is also comparable to most 3DO games, although there's some ridiculous prices for the 3DO. I mean, some games just prices are insane. This wasn't also a launch one. This actually came out a little while after the console's release, so it's not one of the original titles. Marco's dying.
Sorry about that.
Do you hate the game that much, Marco?
Yes, it is horrible. It's making me cough. No. Fuck. It's really good. I mean, I like it. It's
Star Fox.
What was I gonna compare it to? No, it's like Warhawk, but from a third-person view.
Yeah.
Warhawk on the PS1.
Yeah.
the problem I have with Warhawk is it always felt really clunky. This one doesn't look like it has that problem.
No, it flies pretty
Although
good.
I will say the only thing that bothers me is the levels are really repetitive.
Yeah.
They all look exactly the same, so Star Fox has that edge where at least the levels were memorable and had, you know, their distinct little thing. Even going throughout the level, there was no section that was really the same as any other section.
Right here, what I have a problem with is like it doesn't kind of rail to the line.
Yeah.
It doesn't in like a turn. You're pretty much still flying straight. It doesn't let you. It doesn't actually take the level with it.
Yeah, this did not let me change the camera. The only times I died here for the most part was because of the scenery.
You basically have to strafe, and it's kind of.
Well, you also got to remember that the old school joysticks only had like 6 directions, and when I remember that old one, we used to have a couple of them, but the old school joysticks that this was based off of what most people would play this game. You kind of would just go click left and right, move left and right, and it would strafe. It wouldn't turn the perspective. Turning perspective was a new feature for everyone. And there's no real direction on which way to go. In fact, there's multiple paths here. Kind of figured that out here to get past that one part where I kept dying, because I was starting to get frustrated a little bit, because it's hard to determine where your ship is in comparison to the environment. But it's still pretty good, and you do have a live system. I just kind of kept going, and then it started getting a little difficult around here. Enemies started getting more turrets hitting me and stuff, but I found mostly it was it wasn't too difficult. Just the scenery. I could see where I was dying initially. And the draw distance kind of doesn't help when a big mountain comes out of nowhere.
Goddamn mountain.
Just got one up there. But, is it worth it if you have a 3DO? Definitely. I would say it's one of the better ones I've played on a 3DO. And, it still holds up fairly well, although, the only people who are really going to find any value in this is probably people who have that old PC shooter nostalgia.
Well, that, or if they like other ones like Space Harrier.
Yeah, definitely. All right, everyone. Well, this was our first 3DO capture. Please subscribe. Please let us know what you think. We have plenty more coming. And leave a comment. We love comments. Thank you.
Fuck this. Let's go play Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Oh, God. We might do that.